Hi students, welcome to Learning Management System Lesson 2, the Landlady Session 4 Program BSc. And friends, Language English 4th semester created by Ravi Kumar AECD, working as English professor in Government First Aid College, Yelahanka. A note on author. The Roald Dahl was born in land of Wales to Norwegian immigrants. So I'm born to say Norwegian immigrants is named after the first Norwegian explorer to reach the South Pole, North South Pole. He is named after the first explorer of South Pole, Norwegian explorer, after his name. And sister Astri and as well as his father, they died to pneumonia with small intervals in his early age. That's impact great on his life. His mother wanted to give the best for him. She sent him to a boarding school, St. Peter's, Western Super Mare, and then in 1929 to Repton. First, he admitted in Western Super May, St. Peter's Western Super May, later to Repton. Some of the memorable and bizarre events of his school life are recounted in the story boy. So some of the bizarre, some of the bad things as well as good things which has happened with him in his school life was remembered, recounted in the story which he has had written later in his life, called the book The Boy. Was mentioned everything in that story. Meanwhile, he missed his mother very much during his school life. Every week he wrote a letter to his mother, but never told her how much he missed her. He started to write to his mother, but he never disclosed that how much he loves, how much he missed his mother. But later, he came to know that his mother had preserved all his letters, but it's become a good collection of communication or a correspondence between mother and son, mother and son. These are published as a book by BBC Radio 4 as Book of the Week. Later, it is published as BBC Radio 4 as Book of Week. And Violet Repton, the school children were invited for a trial chocobar. And while in the Repton, some visiting things will be there, like visiting the factory. They are also invited for a trial chocobar factory. This memory stayed with him and later remembered as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. His love of travel took him to Canada, East Africa. He also participated in World War II as he enlisted in the Royal Air Force at the age of 23. Here is Roald Dahl's photo, picture image. Roald Dahl's stories for children are popular. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Now, it's a beautiful, colorful movie and also a fantasy mystery oriented movie you can watch by downloading or visiting, downloading this movie. It's a beautiful and we will get to know that how different type of chocolates we can see in the, and Matilda, The next story is Matilda, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, James and the Giant Peach, etc. These are all for the children. He also wrote macabre stories for adults and blended dark humor and innocence to draft an ending with a twist. He's also written some of the macabre stories, means a kind of superstitious in the sense, mystery oriented, tragic thrillers, thrilling type of little bit. Terrorist, terrorizing kind of terrorizing stories with the horror intentions and horror stories with innocent to draft and ending with a twist, giving a twist in the end. He received three Edgar Awards in 1954 for his collection of Someone Like You. The very first one, Edgar Award, is also Edgar Allan Poe is also one writer who invented. Actually, he started to write the mystery stories, and see, he is so much so popular after his death. So one award is also started to give to the young writers who used to write the mystery stories. So, so, uh, so whereas our Roald Dahl received Edgar Awards, three Edgar Awards. The first one in 1954 for his collection, Someone Like You. The second one, 1959 for the story Our Own Landlady. Okay. In 1980, Tales of Unexpected. These are all telecasted in various televisions. Here is our landlady. See a man holding a cup and saucer. He is this in a composed manner of drinking. A young man, bright, and there behind him standing a woman. The middle-aged woman looks like a middle-aged woman, and she is just watching him. Let us see what's going to happen to this in this story. Praveen, have you ever felt weird or strange? Have you ever felt a strange thing? See, you are in a place and you are thinking that it's totally unusual. Like, but explain why you fear while entering a place or not being that entering into a place and you are thinking it's not kind of unusual about the place. It is called forewarning. Forewarning means some incident happens around you, and it's giving, it's hinting something, something bad or something good is going to happen. Likewise, forewarning. And to discuss these experiences with your friends in a group. Try to discuss once you are finished with this topic. Just to try to discuss with your friends after going through this text as well as this class. In the aftermath of World War II, many writers began to utilize dark humor as a tool with which to make sense of the modern world and the global atrocities witnessed during the first half of the 20th century. Dark humor developed as a genre in its own right in the 1960s, particularly in American literature, like Roald Dahl. Many writers were exploring dark elements of the human fate and pushing their portrayal of humanity and modernity to absurd and cartoonish extremes. The Landlady won Best Short Story Mystery at the 1960 Edgar Awards. This was the second time Dahl was honored, the first having been for the collection of the short stories, someone like it, like you. As I told, see, the point is that he received, it's a best story. The what prescribed for us is a best story. Word with that. About the story. The story, The Landlady, is a suspense thriller. We cannot call it an out and out horror story. We cannot call it some horrifying things, horrifying instances. We will not come across with those certain things. It's a line, and it's a kind of a time story, just with hints something, and it may not. We never come across any of the horrific situations in the story from the beginning to the end for both readers as well as the viewer, or the so-called victim. The landlady possesses no supernatural elements but had its own macabre. Yes, even after that, it has its own kind of horrific things for the readers, not to the man believer. Roald Dahl is usually known for his children's books, but the landlady was for an older audience. No, this story is not for the children. This is for the grown-ups. The landlady was an older audience. Dahl stated that the story was close to something supernatural. He had written as an involving ghosts, but when then he scrapped those elements and made the conversation something that is plausible in the real world. The paper would like to advise some reader pleasure, as the story has some graphic imagery. Throughout the story, the all demonstrates how easily Billy's judgment is clouded and undermined by his positive first impressions, and the landlady's bed and breakfast hotel come house, boarding house. The allegorical message at the heart of the landlady urges readers to look beyond the surface good by contrasting appearance and reality. Dahl illustrates how the truth is often concealed by superficial outward appearances. And in the next session, we are going to the text. We will discuss about the text. And thank you, students. That's all from me in this session.